Available.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on a different day scheduled at the last minute due to the weather yesterday. Because this was changed, most of our department heads had other commitments. Everything from prior appointments to ball practices, things again that they had scheduled around so that they could attend yesterday, but are not available today. We do have Jan with us today, so we will have her go first in reporting when we get to that, because really the rest of the reports will just be what the people have submitted, short of a couple of comments that I've been asked to make on their behalf.
Thank you. Any adjustments to the agenda?
None.
Public comment. The school board endorses the concept of that community participation in the affairs of the school is essential to improve the quality of education for its students. To be eligible to address the board, and individuals should reside within the school unit, be an employee of the school unit, or be invited by the board or superintendent to speak. The board shall give due attention to comments and contributions from the audience, but shall not be expected to respond or take any action immediately. Audience inquiries other than simple questions shall be referred to the superintendent, who shall investigate or consider the matter and report to the citizen and to the board. If the board action is indicated, then the item will be included in the agenda for the subsequent meeting. Comments will be heard for no longer than 3 minutes per person. Are there any other comments? Okay, seeing none. Can I have the approval of the minutes motion? Okay.
I move to approve the minutes of the school board meeting March 11, 2025, barring any errors or omissions.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Payroll, Lauren? Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer to each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following school payroll warrants. March 27th, 2025, PR 25-20, $138,970.20. PR 25-20D, $76,576.69. Main PERS 25-23, $218.87. Main PERS 25-24, $8,227.98. And main PERS 25-25, $37,913.07.
That's more.
And on April 10th, 2025, PR 25-21, $131,595.78. PR 25-21D, $73,352.89.
Second.
Any discussion? None, all in favor? We have a ward.
Move to direct the superintendent of schools to authorize payment by the town treasurer, each party listed herein, the sum set against each name contained in the following school payable warrants. On March 27th, 2025, AP 25-29 in the amount of $22,767.16. AP 25-30 in the amount of $131,995.36. Student accounts 25-26 in the amount of $1,306.17. And on April 10th, 2025, AP 25-31 in the amount of $58,095.09. Student accounts 25-27 in the amount of $498.96.
Any discussion? All in favor? Adoption of policy.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the adoption of the following revised policy, GBJ personnel records and files.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Before we vote, I'd just like to say that when the policy committee meets, there's two representatives from the school board and the superintendent, and we do not bring it before the school board unless all three agree. Just so you, that's why I mean.
That's good to mention too, Kevin, because that isn't necessarily the case everywhere. It could be majority, but we actually work through it until we see like each other's points or massage the policy enough so that it meets the standards of main school management, but also fits the needs of
Our
the
community.
I'm glad to hear that because in the past, we've had to send back to committee. The school board didn't agree.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't experience that, but
oh, you're lucky. I know it was a lot. Yeah. it was wonderful.
It really is a good committee though, because sometimes we have policies that we've brought back a couple of times because we needed additional information for somebody to feel comfortable. Thank you.
Like you said, it's not a rubber stamp, but we work on it, we massage the policy if we can, so it's agreeable.
All in favor? Hey, see if the board will opt into or opt out of the CACFP at-risk after-school program.
The motion to opt out of the CACFP at-risk after-school food program for the 2025-2026.
Second.
Discussion?
Mia? Mia?
Mia, are you there? If you are, your mic's not on.
Okay, per Mia's recommendation, the same as last year when we opted out. This program is for after-school food program for at-risk students. And what we're thinking is that at this moment, oh, I'm sorry, Mia, I was just starting to explain. No, that's fine.
Technical difficulties, it would not turn on.
I just wondered if you'd want to make a statement about our rationale for requesting that the board opt out of this after-school program.
I think there's quite a bit of consideration to take in as far as like labor hours, the planning of how we're going to prepare meals and hand them out and record such a thing. So a lot of planning has to go into it and we're just not really there. But I would like to look at doing it next year.
I think one of the groups that we would potentially serve with this, if we were able to figure out a system for next year, would be our drama club, which starts right in the fall, preparing for their fall musical. And then that moves into like our basketball season, football season, like all of those. So me and I had a conversation about this, and we do agree that we think it's a good thing, but it's a little labor intensive on the actual preparation, purchase and reporting at this time. Thank you, Mia.
Sure thing.
All in favor? Okay, the board will vote to approve the 25-26 school budget.
I move to approve the 25-26 school budget as presented.
And I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I just want to make one, and I want to thank the superintendent and our financial secretary or financial person,
Business.
but business manager or something. They did a great job, especially with some of the things that came in. So I appreciate keeping the cost of the town low. I just want to thank them for all the hard work, because this was draft number 9, so there was a lot of things they looked at. So I just want to thank them for that.
Thank you.
There's a lot of work. I support that too.
Again, I just would like to thank the superintendent, business manager, and assess the term, for keeping us informed. If I had a question, I could call, I could ask. I appreciate that, and it gives me confidence that I can vote on a budget. I just want to say I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor? Yes.
So do you want to report that you're going to present this at the town council?
Yes, anybody who's interested, Rhonda and I will both be at the town council regularly scheduled presentation, tomorrow at 5:30. And anybody who's interested in, attending is certainly welcome.
Okay,
And Ms. Rhonda, thank you, and you're welcome to head home. Get home safely. We'll see you tomorrow, though.
You passed.
that's been a long time. Yeah.
Madison
Okay.
is, is at practice, as is, Haley. Thank you.
Drop out.
Dr. James.
You know, it's a lot easier.
That's what's easier.
I'm gonna learn to say, I'm learning.
So, I wanted to just kind of highlight a little bit. So our March 14th combined workshop went really well. The only thing is we will find a different space for just special ed. We were at Granite, thought we had enough spaces set up for, I think, 47 and ended up with like 57. Because it was supposed to be for special ed tech, but everybody said all ed tech. So I had title, library, like I had every ed tech in every like in the 2 districts. So anyways, but it went well. The content was great, so they were able to really kind of talk to each other. One of the things that I checked in with kind of staff members that may have worked in one district and then moved to another district, asked them, did they feel comfortable? And they said they really did. I tried to highlight them kind of in it, like things are going well, and then they started talking out more and everything. So I feel like it's kind of not only building bridges, but mending some of them too, and just repairing some relationships and that we're all working together. So, and when I checked with them, they said they all felt very comfortable. Because sometimes people leave one district to go to another and then everything. So anyway, so that went extremely well. Student programming is going well. One of the things that we've had a lot of meetings because behaviors are ramping. So it's whether it's meetings in my office, phone calls, like to parents, and us just being able to really sit around a table and say, what can we do instead of exclusionary practices, like, suspensions, in-school suspensions, being sent to the office all the time, even being sent to the resource room all the time of not being in the classrooms. So we've been working on what kind of plans can we come up with, coming back to the table if they did work, didn't work, a lot of communication on those. So that's going well. And I didn't have on like the upcoming May 14th, it was going to be, all special ed stuff, but it's going to be just ed techs that I'll be working on, for that early release. And I haven't totally finalized what the topic, like I have like 3 things, but more things kind of keep coming up that it might be just like a spring reboot of reminders of FERPA and those type of things as we kind of get that little bit of spring slide of just kind of, getting some of those in there in a fun way too. So, and then we have CDS transition meetings. So, that's Child Development Services. You may have been hearing that throughout the state of Maine, this year was cohort 1, next year is cohort 2 of the districts taking over 3 and 4-year-olds from CDS. We have not opted in to do that. We have a really good collaboration right now with CDS as far as they're coming to our pre-K, the 4-year-olds, and we're trying to provide services, but we didn't have enough service providers to do that we felt like we could move with the cohort. It's getting there, but we wanted another year to just kind of get something settled. Because then when you're bringing in, developmental 3-year-olds, do we put them here? Do we, place them somewhere else? Those type of things. So it's just a lot of questions, more than just the pre-K students. So with that, it means that they are still CDS students. And the transition meetings that we have on them, we will then say, what are the programmings, everything that's going to be developed. And then looking at placements as far as what we would say they need to have for teachers, services, and we rewrite their IEP for when they'll be coming to public school. So those will be starting soon. They're long days as we all sit in the room and all meet together on it. And then,
Can I add?
oh,
a
of
piece there?
course,
So something that you may or may not know is that all school systems don't offer programs to 4-year-olds. They don't have universal preschool. Millinocket has had universal preschool for quite a long time now. But in having the cohorts and having the expectation that we'll all have 3-year-olds, and that's 3-year-olds that need this special services. I'm in meetings where districts are like, what are we gonna do with 3-year-olds? We don't have 4-year-olds, or they have long wait lists. And so like a third of their 4-year-olds aren't going to public school settings. I honestly had no idea that there were so many out there not offering 4-year-old programs. But once this came up, it's like people are, some people are really looking like, we can't service all of our 4-year-olds. How are we going to do more than that? So I only bring this up because Millinocket does a great job.
Yeah.
You had great 4-year-old programs. You had great 4-year-old instructors. Teaching a 4-year-old is not the same as teaching a 5-year-old. Believe it or not, there's pretty significant differences between what they're able to do and how they're able to respond. So Millinocket's done a great job with that. I just wanted to add that on because I've been really surprised that we're universal and I think of that as, well, of course, but then I hear other schools talk about, well, no, we don't. We actually only have a dozen because that's what our capacity is, but we don't turn anybody away.
and the programs are so solid that when we decide to do that, it isn't, I think the working relationship, we're doing a lot with them anyways, but it's us trying to figure out the manpower.
Yes, it is. I
And
agree.
that's really the only
agree.
reason why we're not doing it right now,
Yeah.
is because it really is additional staff members that we needed to get just everything kind of sorted out this year with programming for all students who needed to have what services. And so while we're still just getting all of that ironed out, it just felt like it would be too much too fast, and I'd rather go slow to do it well. So, and it's not mandated yet,
Right.
it will be, soon, but it isn't yet, so I'd rather take another year and just get some things going.
I just want to say one thing about that. We were involved in the cohort for having pre-K. So we had money available to us to do that.
Mhm.
So we were one of that, we were part of the project.
Yeah,
So that helped a lot.
Yeah.
But they did expand, K-Tech. And they're taking 3-year-olds. So the new facility will take 3 years, and I want to say almost maybe 2-year-olds to
Really?
that young, so, that's stuff if we're not ready, and there's people that need that. I'm not sure what the requirements are or anything, but you
Right.
can reach out to them.
Right.
And, you know,
And I'm actually glad you said that, because that is one of them that if we don't have, like, the services here, we can outsource it. So we could say that our 3-year-old program would be with K-Tech and be able to program with them, as long as they have a developmental program for students with special needs.
And you'd
But
probably
that
get,
could be something
that
that,
would be one of our numbers probably too.
Yeah.
That's right.
and that would be something to collaborate with. It's another collaboration that could
Right.
work well,
Right.
and develop it. So I'm glad you said that, because now I'm on that. You just gave me something to do.
This is good to think about. I agree. Never thought of it.
And then, the last thing is that I'm excited anyways, that we're already talking about what the professional development is for next year. So it will be a whole entire, I just finished yesterday, a 3-part series, so it was over 6 hours, of training that I received, and, of how to effectively use ed techs within classrooms to decrease dependency on the adult and increase them being independent and in more mainstream classes. So it's really a lot of inclusionary methods. And so it will be when, why, and how to provide ed tech support for students and promoting independence. Within that, I've been talking about it a lot in IEP meetings, but not every teacher goes to IEP meetings. And the ed techs aren't there during it. So knowing that we have all of the ed techs within the school, not hearing what's in the meetings, then it's really kind of bringing everybody up to how can we do that. The ed techs have heard part of it, but it's going to be really good at hearing everybody in the same room. So general ed, special ed, whether it's unified arts, your PE, everything, of how much support do they really need. But then the ed tech is the support where it should be, then not having to lean on that and them being able to not much. So anyway, so I'm excited. Doing that already.
Thank you.
Elliot, you see our district now says 1 out of state. What state did they go to?
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry. It is, so we have, Hillcrest, is one that some of them, so in-state, we have them at Kids Peace.
Yep.
And then out of state, it's Hillcrest, so it could be Massachusetts, it's what.
So it's not California or something. It's,
Well, I can tell you though, currently it's not. However, we do have a couple of our students right now that are on a list for residential. What happens is when students, through the process of the state of Maine, it's not anything we go through, when they can't find them a residential placement in state, then they have to then say that they've tried it for so many months and then they'll look for out of state. They try to do New England, but they're not even finding placements in New England. So some placements are like Texas, other places, but that's the state of Maine placing them. I still, we attend all of their meetings and everything for them. They're still considered our student, but we do not pay for any of it. The state of Maine pays for it. So the out-of-state ones that you see, we do not have any financial obligation to. The in-state ones for students that go to Kids Peace, we do have financial obligation to, and those are the big numbers that you see in the budget.
well, I can see that'd be a giant cost if it was something we're technically paying for them to live there.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
big cost.
Yeah, the only way that we would have to is if we say we can't educate them here.
Okay.
And so, but it's not like us.
Yeah.
Us saying, and that's why I put it in there, is technically there are students on our rolls, but we don't have any financial obligation
Okay.
to them whatsoever. The state of Maine takes care of, out of state, in-state is our financial obligation.
There you are, yeah, you are, yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, safe travel. Thank you for your report.
Thank you, James.
They don't like dinner.
All right, we're gonna read these things on our own. Let's see the report.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to me, I want to talk about it.
I just wanted to, Miss Mary asked me to mention that, Granite Street, Family Night is this Thursday, tomorrow, on April 10th at 4 to 5. It's an Easter and spring theme with related math and reading activities, an Easter basket craft, a photo booth, and a guest speaker from the Top Learning Projects. And she is welcoming anybody who would like to attend. Also, at the time that she wrote her report, the team, which was Jan, Miss Peavy, Miss Mary, and myself, wrote a PBIS, a Positive Behavior Intervention and Support grant in order to, not a grant, an application in order to become part of this program where they help us with strategies, help train teachers, and put everybody on the same page with having the same language, the same responses to behavior, and we were just notified that our application was accepted. So between when she wrote this and today, that's happened. So she was really excited about that. And I also wanted to, and on behalf of all these people absent today, a couple of them had things they really just wanted said. So Miss Peavy wanted everybody to know that the 6th grade science fair was held on Wednesday, April 2nd. In the middle school gym at 6 o'clock. There were some amazing projects. There was, they did awards for first, second, third, and honorable mention. There was everything from debunking the 5-second rule to floating eggs to wind turbines. She said the caliber of experiments and presentations was outstanding. The career fair was scheduled for yesterday and is now rescheduled for the 13th for anybody who's interested in that. And they are, they did some work with the ELO, that's our new grant supported position, and we had the person from Maine Forestry here to have some conversations with us as we get that going. Miss Jackson's middle school science class submitted posters for the Maine Water Poster Contest. So in your packet, you have her information, and if you highlight on that URL, and if you put that in, it will bring you down to a place to vote. I voted yesterday, and you need to go vote, because a whole bunch of our kids, like are finalists, and you can't tell who they are, so you literally look in each of these categories, pick the one you want, and it's really easy. It just scrolls up or down, and you just like click on the picture, and up on the left-hand side, a green check mark will be there, and then go all the way to the bottom and push submit, and the next line of them will come up in the next age bracket. So just keep going until you've had an opportunity to vote for all of them. I'm super excited to see it, thinking that, you know, this was an initiative that showed the scientific field, but also, you know, the art field. When you look at them, you'll see what I mean. So that was pretty cool too. So that was Miss Peavy's and Miss Mary's that they wanted me to say out loud instead of just have you read. Miss Mia, did you have something you wanted to add to about your report?
Only if you'd like me to. You're free to just read it if that's what you'd like to do today.
I also wanted to mention that, I see that Louis walked in at 2:47, so, yeah, for the order, so.
So he made sure that was there just for you, and I was gonna actually say something about that, because the organization that he works with to help buy, you know, millions of gallons of this, they put all the information out, and it's all live time, right? So like they put it out there, and the actual time you agree to it is the money that you get, you save or spend. So he and I were like tagging back and forth with our text messaging and like making sure we were both in the building. We got it done like exactly perfect. They had made a mistake on their side, so nobody's bids worked. So then the next day I was not in the building and he was somewhere else. So we're trying to go back and forth with text messages, so I'm calling, I'm like, Louis, what have you heard? And it was a real fiasco. By the time we got it done, we got our contract, I wasn't in this building, we got our contract and they had our price wrong. So I recognized that the price was wrong and I reached out to Louis and I reached out to the organization and they're like, no, this is right. And I'm like, no, this is wrong. And so through a little bit of push and fortitude, I guess, we did get our right price. The bottom line is even though it took us 2 days and a little bit of dancing, we did get a really good price. And we did get 2 prices, which they said was very unusual, but our larger amount of gallons, we got at one price and the smaller amount at different. So, yeah,
I don't
thanks
know
to
if-
Louis for doing the dance with
I
this
don't know if
company.
you noticed, but oil's up $2.50 a barrel today,
Oh, I didn't know that, really?
so we did it right.
Yay, yay. I'm glad you brought that up. So I should say on his behalf too, the biology lab is pretty much all installed. We're looking at just doing floors and some piping. And then the chemistry lab will be hopefully done, this summer. So we will really have 2 state-of-the-art, science labs in, Stearns High School. It's been very labor intensive. Please read the rest of this because there's so much here. That covers my part.
There's
right?
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mine was all about budget and the Harmony Unified Show Choir. It came down on that Saturday. And oh, if you wanna be excited about having a school that you can be proud of, all of the adults working that day, you know, walking around with their lists and very professional and happy people from everywhere. I saw people from Caribou that I had worked with in the past, and there were people from Southern Maine. I mean, the display that day was amazing. Our kids did amazing. I was talking with Ronnie, and I'm like, so how you doing? He said, well, ask me that in about 6 hours, because it's about a 14-hour day. But I mean, he was happy, he was helping people, and it was definitely a day to be proud of everybody who worked that day.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. Yeah, so it's like,
No.
I make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Anyone say?
I'm gonna stay with you.
So I can pull it out.
all in favor? Upcoming meetings, May 6th, 2025, and June 3rd, 2025. I remember this stuff.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.